Hey guys, how you doing? Derek here from M1 Realty. So another week of crazy headlines regarding the housing market, doom and gloom, the sky is falling. So I felt it was important to shoot this video just so you know like what's actually happening on the ground in our market in Metro Detroit. So ready? Let's get into it. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Derek Werenka. I'm the broker owner of M1 Realty. We're the #1 real estate firm in the city of Ferndale, Michigan. And I've got an all-star team of agents who are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest, rent, whatever you need, we got you covered. And before we get into it, if you would be so kind as to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and most importantly, share this video to anybody who you feel will benefit from it. That just helps me to get in front of people just like you who want to know what's going on really in the housing market and not just listen to these crazy headlines that are, apparently just all geared towards scaring people right now. And this week's article is from Fortune, who have jumped on the bandwagon and are starting to let people know how hard the housing market correction is going to hit your market. Well, the good news for us is, at least so far, it hasn't hit us at all, really. I mean, it's eliminated some of the buyers who were lateral move buyers who we're going to sell their house at, one price point in one location and purchase another house for this roughly the same price in a different area. Those aren't so prevalent anymore because, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to sell one house that you have a 3% interest rate on your mortgage to buy another one where it's going to be 6.25%. Obviously that doesn't make financial sense. So those buyers are kind of out of the way. But we've got all of our move-up buyers, all of our people that are downsizing, a lot of our first-time buyers are still definitely in the market, and there's just not enough houses to put them in right now. And until we do have enough supply to put people in, it's supply and demand. Prices are still going to keep going up unless, I want to preface this, I don't have a crystal ball. I have no idea what's going to happen. If interest rates go up to like 10 or 12 or 15% like they did in the 80s, whole nother ball game. But as of right now, that's not where we're at. Our average 30-year fixed mortgage interest rate actually went down a little bit over the past week. It's still a lot higher than it was at the beginning of the year, and it's going to stay that way. But as of right now, the rising interest rates haven't really cooled demand enough to the point where supply can catch up to it. So right now we're still talking with about a huge lack of supply in our market. I don't care what happens anywhere else in the country. I do keep an eye on it because a lot of times that's going to predict where we're at down the road. And some other areas around the country, yes, they're seeing a pretty good influx of supply to the point where it's starting to bring down prices. We're seeing a lot of price reductions in other cities. Around here, we've got a few price reductions here and there, but for the most part, nice homes that are marketed well and priced appropriately aren't lasting more than a few days on the market. And just anecdotally from my experience, that's not necessarily a horrible thing. I get, from a buyer standpoint, yes, you want to have your options and look at as many houses as you can. And it's true, you definitely have more homes to choose from now than you did even 6 months to a year ago. It was a much tighter market than it is now. But what we're dealing with right now, we're still at like 1.8 months worth of supply as of this week in our market, and it's not till you get to about 5 to 6 months worth of supply that the market's balanced. So anything less than 6 months is, in my opinion, is considered a seller's market, and when there's more than a 6-month supply, then you're kind of trending towards a buyer's market. So that being said, if you're in the market to buy a home, rest assured it's going to be a whole lot easier than it would have been 6 months to a year ago or even a couple months ago, because we're not seeing so many of the mega multiple offer situations like when you're going up against 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 other offers. Makes it a little tough to win and get that house, right? So now, even when we're seeing multiple offers, it's more of like a 2 to 3 other offer situation. And more often than not, if I only have to beat 1 or 2 other offers, I can structure a deal, and at least me personally can leverage the positive attributes of our offer to get that offer accepted. In fact, I did that just not even a week ago. got a home under contract, and we had 2 other offers. One of them was cash. We beat the cash offer. The other one was higher, but our terms were better, so they took our offer. We've already sailed through the inspection. We're getting the appraisal ordered. This thing is going to close, and I'm going to take care of my clients. And it's just, you have to know how to do it. That's how we train our agents to write the best possible offer. So you can get in, you can get your deal accepted. You don't necessarily have to be the highest offer, although trust me, that helps. And you don't have to be cash. I can beat cash offers all day long with our lender partners that we use. And obviously it's a seller's market. It's still a great time to be a seller for sure. I don't think even with the way interest rates are right now, I just outlined, obviously there's more demand than there is supply. So that just means you can basically, your home values are going to keep going up and up until we have enough supply to adequately, supply our metro area. So this is for May. I think I talked about this last week in the video, but for the month of May of 2022, in the entire metro area, which for our intents and purposes, for our MLS, they include Livingston County as well. So you got Macomb, Oakland, Wayne, and Livingston County. That market area is massive. That's probably, it's over 4.5 million people. There were only 6,200 homes on the market for sale on the average for the month of May. And I think I compared that to May of 2019. I went pre-COVID because the last 2 years have been crazy wonky in the market. So I wanted to be able to compare it to something that was more what we were dealing with, prior to COVID. So I went May of 2019. At that point in time, the average was closer to 12,000 houses on the market. So we're only at 55% of the inventory that we had 3 years ago for the same time period. And 2019, if you remember back that far, definitely wasn't a buyer's market either. That was still a strong seller's market. I mean, we've been in a seller's market in our little neck of the woods for a decade at this point. Like I'd say 2011, 2012 was when I first noticed things kind of shifting out of the recession, which was a massive buyer's market, and things were starting to turn back in favor of the seller, and really hasn't changed ever since. So definitely, take it with a grain of salt. I wouldn't say ignore these articles, but definitely read them. It's usually when you read a little further down, it's in like the 3rd, 4th, 5th paragraph, towards the bottom, where they tell you, well, things aren't maybe as bad as they seem, in some markets, and ours is one of them for sure. So, real estate is hyper local. It's, I get it that, they like to, the market's been so strong for so long that any kind of fluctuation will create headlines, and, they're just going for clicks right now and ad revenue. So they're going to make the most sensational headlines they possibly can, and to get you to click on it and scare people. Because, obviously people want to protect their value of their home. I mean, I do as well, but I also think it's more important to be upfront and honest and tell people like what's actually happening, which is why I'm doing this video right now. So when you see things that are like, well, pending sales are way down, well, yeah, because have you seen what the inventory is? There's not enough houses to pend. It's like we can't create inventory out of thin air, right? And a lot of the inventory that we should be having, a lot of the supply that should be hitting the market is new construction homes. And right now, most builders are kind of like pumping the brakes too. They're not building as fast as they could. So, I don't know how we're going to get to an end of this supply issue. So it almost doesn't matter what happens with the overall economy and the stock market and all that. Until there's adequate supply of homes in our market, we're going to continue to be kind of stuck in the same situation that we're in right now. Although, admittedly, like I just said, it's eased up a little bit, at least on the buyer side. And we're getting into that time of year. We've definitely seen an increase in inventory, just from that time of year. We're right in the middle of prime selling season right now. It's the first week of July. So this is when a lot of people are looking to purchase homes and put their homes on the market, so people can get moved into their new home and be settled in prior to school starting. So this is right about that time of year when we're going to see probably the peak of our inventory for the entire year. And we're right just under where we were a year ago. So, and a year ago, last summer, wasn't a super high inventory point in time either. So, I'm not super encouraged by the fact that we're only looking to maybe match where we were a year ago. And of course, if anything changes, I'll be the first one to tell you. I'll be putting a video out immediately because, markets can change on a dime. You just never know what happens. It almost doesn't matter what happens right now to the overall economy or the stock market. Until we get a handle on supply and demand, it is what it is. But that being said, I think, what do they say? History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And I'm not seeing really any indicators right now that would lead me to believe that the housing market itself is going into correction territory or even like really going down in value. So anybody that purchased a home, just even recently, you probably already have equity in it. Anybody that's waiting for the housing market to crash, I don't know, maybe move to Salt Lake City because it looks like maybe they're headed for one right now, or Las Vegas. I mean, I don't know. It's not happening here, so I don't know what to tell you. If you're waiting to like pick up a house in Ferndale for 50 grand or Royal Oak for 70 grand, that was I guess getting your time machine and go back to 2007 and take me with you because I want to buy about 20 of them. So, but yeah, realistically, that's not where we're at right now. And all I can do is just keep putting these videos out, let you guys know exactly where the market is and what my opinion is as far as where it's headed. And I'm always going to keep doing that. And just honestly, I'll just keep being straightforward. I'm going to let you know my opinion exactly what the numbers are telling us. And that's the best I can do. I've been pretty right for about 20 years now, so I haven't made too many missteps or misjudged too many markets. If anything, I thought we were going to see a downturn 6 or 7 years ago that never really materialized. So just because we were kind of due for one, but we're as of right now in the longest sustained sellers market I think in history. So we're just we'll deal with what we have. The market's always good for somebody. Right now it's great for sellers, and it's not a terrible time for buyers. You just have to be a pretty strong buyer, or you need to at least be realistic about what you can afford. You can't really bite off more than you can chew in this market. I know some of the headlines I've seen have said, so buyers are, they're coming back, in full force right now, and they're asking for seller concessions, and they're asking for the seller to pay some of their closing costs. That's what that means. And that ain't happening here. I guess on a case-by-case basis, it could, because I have had a couple buyers that I've worked with this year where we have gotten concessions, we have gotten price reductions, or gotten the house for under asking price. I think the best deal I was able to get for one of my buyers this year in 2022, we got the house for $30,000 under asking price. But I wouldn't count on that, and that was kind of a rare instance. But it was a house in Grosse Pointe Park or Grosse Pointe Woods, so it's definitely doable in more desirable areas. But again, that's those kind of deals are few and far between right now. I mean, if you can't afford the list price, maybe kind of recalibrate what you're looking for. That's just my best advice. But that's just realistically going to give you the best chance of getting a home under contract. And if you're looking to list your home, I still think right now is an excellent time to do it, because again, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in the market. I mean, who knows? But as of right now, nothing's leading me to believe that we're going to fall off a cliff. I guess if that happens, you can come back and point and laugh at me. I don't think it's going to happen. But getting your house on the market right now, I know what's happening in the market right now, and I know it's a great time to sell. So if you're kind of thinking, well, I'm going to wait 6 months and see where we're at, I mean, certainly it's your house. You do what you want. But if it's something that you're considering, I know for a fact you're going to get, if the home is marketed well, priced appropriately, it shows well, you should still be able to get multiple offers and sell your home for over asking price in this market currently. So that's pretty much all I've got for you this week. I hope this was helpful. I know it's not like anything new and groundbreaking, but I'll get back to some, more creative content here in the next couple of weeks. I got a couple things planned that I think are going to be really entertaining, really informative. We're going to spotlight a couple local cities. We got some things cooking here that are going to be good to watch and be entertaining for you. And as always, if you do have any questions, specifically something that I haven't hit, you want to know what's going on in a specific city, a specific neighborhood, whatever the case may be, you can always reach out to me. My direct line is 586-491-5622. I've also got another private cell number, 248-561-6155. You can always email me, dwerenka@m1realty.net, and or leave a comment down below and we'll get to it. And once again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you'd be so kind as to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and most importantly, share this video to anybody that you think is going to benefit from it, I'd greatly appreciate it. It just gets me in front of more people just like you, again, who are interested in the housing market in Metro Detroit, want to know what's going on, and need up-to-date information so they can, better make plans. And once again, thank you so much for watching this. I truly appreciate it. If there's anything I can do for you before next week, just please reach out anytime. Either myself or my team will be able to help you, no problem at all, and we'll see you soon.